Hi friends, we are going to see in this lecture data types in DBMS. We have seen in previous lecture that in previous video introduction of DBMS and what is data and information, applications of DBMS and advantages of DBMS. In this video we are going to start with data types in DBMS. So when you create a table or add a field to a table in the database, fields are created with specific data type. Data types are classification that identify possible values for and operations that can be done on the data, as well as the way the data in that field is stored in the database. So this is about just information, and this is what types of DBMS. So these are data types in the DBMS. These are divided into class, data type, description. So first, text. Text has two data types. First is char and second is varchar. So char holds a fixed length string, can contain letters, numbers, and special characters. The fixed size is specified in parentheses. So char has char holds only fixed length string and it contains letters, numbers, and special characters. Varchar holds a variable length string, can contain letters, numbers, and special characters. The maximum size is specified in parentheses. So it its holding length is more and contains special character, letters, and numbers, and maximum size is specified in parentheses only. Second class is numeric and data types are decimal int. Decimal. It can represent numbers with or without the fraction part. Means not necessary. So it is not necessary we can in this we can keep uh, decimal data or without decimal data. It is not necessary there that to keep only decimal data. So next is int, that is it is used for storing integers values. So int means integers and it stores integers value. Next are two types. First class is data and date, and type is also date. So it holds the date, include days, month, and year. So in this date class, date type, it holds date, day, and month and year. Time includes hour, minutes, and seconds. So next we have data model. What is data model? Database is designed according to certain rules. This logical structure of database is known as model. This is the definition of data model. Data models define how the data is connected to each other and how they are processed and stored inside the system. It describes the method of storing and retrieving the data. There are different models like network model, hierarchical model, and relational model. Let us see relational model. So it in this brief definition is that a data model definition is database is designed according to certain rules. This logical structure of database is known as data model. And data model defines how the data is stored and the relation of data. Let's see relational data. The most popular data model in DBMS is the relational model. Relational model is the primary data model which is used widely around the world for data storage and processing. This model is simple and has all the properties and capabilities required to process data with storage efficiency. So in this relational model, it is mostly worldwide used for storing data, and it can process data. There is no data efficiency, storage efficiency. A transaction is a unit of work that is performed against a database. For example दिया है अभी यहाँ पे, if you are creating a record or updating a record or deleting a record from the table, then you are performing a transaction on that table. It is important to control these transactions to ensure the data integrity and to handle database errors. So to keep the data private, these transactions are important to keep in database. Next, we have properties of transactions. Transactions have the following four standard properties usually referred to by them acronym ACI. So first is atomicity. It ensures that all operations within the work unit are completed successfully. Otherwise, the transaction is aborted at the point of failure and all the previous operations are rolled back to their former state. So atomicity uses that the data. It ensures that all operations should be completed successfully. Otherwise, transactions are aborted at the point of failure and previous operations are rolled back to their former state. Next is consistency. It ensures that the database properly changes states upon a successful committed transaction. Next we have isolation. It enables transaction to operate independently of and transparent to each other. So its use is to enable data transaction to operate independently and should transparent to each other. And next is durability. It ensures that the result or effect of a committed transaction persists in case of system failure. If system gets failure, then also it should be remain. It is durable. Next is introduction of RDBMS. So RDBMS stands for Relational Database Management System. In fill in the blanks can be asked that RDBMS stands for. So Relational Database Management System. RDBMS stands for Relational Database Management System. In RDBMS, a database is considered as a collection of interrelated data. So in this relational database management, database is considered as collection of interrelated data. So there are basic database concept is first, table. The table is the basic data storage unit in a relational database. Table consists of columns and rows. Table is made up of columns and rows. A database consists of one or more tables according to which data is stored in a table. Database designers decide the name of the table and titles of column. If we make a school timetable, we arrange in specific columns, we keep name, and in rows we mention all the things like that. Next is field. A table consists of information which is stored under different headings called as fields or columns. So in filling the blanks or single correct option, it can be asked that a table consists of information which is stored under different headings called dash. So answer is fields or columns. Columns are shown vertically in a table. Each field or column has an individual name that the user has to give, and two columns cannot have the same name. In figure number 1, the first row represents the different field like this. So these are columns, field column. This vertical position in the table is columns, and these are rows. Rows are also called as record and columns are also called as field. And this whole thing we have, this whole data stored is in tables, and these maximum pay, these are data values. So record now. All the columns in a table make a row. Each row contains information on individual topics and it is called record. A record is composed of fields and contains all of the data about one particular person, company, or item in a database. Record is also called as tuple. So this is in table what we have filled the data. It is a record. So record is also called as dash. It is tuple. It is it can be also be asked in fill in the blanks. So next we have a key, a column or a combination of columns which can be used to identify one or more rows or tuples in a table is called a key of the table. So this is table and these are columns, rows and data value that we learn. Next we have primary key and foreign key. There are two types of key, primary key and foreign key. Primary key, the group of one or more columns used to uniquely identify each row of a relation is called as primary key. And foreign key is, it is field or collection of fields in one table that refers to the primary key in one another table. Next we have relationships in database. Relationships link data from individual tables to increase the usefulness of database. A relationship in the context of database is a situation that exists between two relational database tables. When one table has a foreign key that is used as a reference to the primary key of the other table. For example, a table called employees has a primary key called employee ID. Another table called employee details has a foreign key which references employee ID in order to uniquely identify the relationship between the two tables. It is like this. We show relationships of table. This is person details, and this is person ID, name, email ID. In person details, personal ID, passport ID, person ID, we use relational database to show relations in table. So there are three types of relationships in relational database design. They are one to one, one to many, many to many. So one to one, in a one to one relationship, one record in a table is associated with one and only one record in another table, like this. It is, this is person details and these are this is person and these are person details. So this is one table relationship. So one to many. Now we have to show relationship, one relationship to many. This is the most common relationship type. In this type relationship, a row in a table city can have many matching rows in a table customer, but a row in a table customer can have only one matching row in a table. So city has uh, three matching rows in a table, like first name, last name, city ID. So this is city name, city ID, and in customer ID. So city has three matching row in a table, that is first name, last name, city ID. And now we are going to see one to many. One to many relationships can also be viewed as many to one. One to many, many to one. Many to one relationships, depending on which way you look it. In the above example, the customer table is the many and the city table is the one. This is city table is the one and city table is many and customer is one. See, like this. So each customer can only be assigned one city. One city can be assigned to many customers. We have shown this in, and we are going to start with many to many now. This relationship is last one. A many to many relationship occurs when multiple record in a table are associated with multiple records in another table. Multiple records in table product are linked to multiple records in a table supplier. This is product and this is supplier. So in product there is product ID, description, price, supplier. So description in supplier, it is supplier ID, description, address. These are many. Multiple records are in a table product are linked to multiple records in a table supplier. So now we have introduction to SQL SQL is a structured query language, which is a computer language for storing, manipulating, and retrieving data stored in a relational database. SQL is the standard language for relational database management system. All relational database management system like MySQL, Base, Oracle, Sybase, Informix, Postgre, and SQL Server use SQL as a standard database language. So SQL is the language which is used in MySQL Base, Oracle, Sybase, Informix, Postgre, and SQL Server. It is standard language for it. And using SQL, you can create new database, create new tables in a database, insert records in a database, retrieve data from database, update records in a database, delete records from a database, execute queries against a database, create stored procedures in a database, create views in a database. So we seen introduction to SQL also. So in this video we have finished with introduction to DBMS chapter. If you like this video, subscribe the channel.